Welcome to all to the course Start Run a Business. This is a simplified form of how to start and how to run a business. And we are going to make you to think how you can start a business and what are the points you need to think. Again, after starting the business, how you are going to run the business. We are again show you the guidelines and make you the path and show the way to think how you can run a business. So the course basically dealing with the how you are able to think about your business. Without any proper idea, you cannot able to run a business. You need a lot of homework before starting a business. So we will guide what are the homeworks you want to do. To run a business is not a small game. It is a big game basically. Each and every step in a running stage. If a man is running, he need to care about each and every step. The same way, if you run a business, you have to be careful about each and every step of your business. So this is basically an introduction part of this course. I'm going to start what are the basic hurdles we are going to discuss in the entire course. The first part of the business is the planning. Before we want to start a business, we need to be plan it properly. How you can plan a business? What the first part of the planning is what you are going to do the business. What is your business? Your business may be a manufacturing, maybe a trading, maybe a servicing, XYZ. So you have to think what type of business I am going to do. That is the first part of the business. Once you start thinking about the first part of the business, then where you are going to do the business. You need a place. Geographical condition is a very important fact in the business. You have to find a geographical place where to suit your business or where the people will buy your business. Your end product need to be by some XYZ. Why these people want to buy your product? Maybe a service, maybe a product. I don't know. This may whatever it may be. Somebody has to buy. Then only you will get you can able to run a business. Then what are the conditions behind it? Government conditions on that? What are the availability of the raw materials? What are the availability of the machineries? What are the other resources like electricity, water, etc. And where you can sell, you'll get to sell people on that. So where you will buy, people will buy. All these things has to be coming into the basic initial planning of the business. And the second part is the project report. What is project report? Basically, the project report is the financial analysis, or in other words, cash flow analysis, or the importance of the what money you are going to put into the business and what money you are getting out of the business. This is basically the project report will say. So how much money you want to invest? Where you want to take a loan, or you want to how you going to repay, how much staff you require, and where will you put the staff, what will be the salary, what will be the cost of the machineries, and what will be the rent of the place, etc. Everything will be covered in the project report. So project report will give, basically the project report will give the cash flow, or money will come, money will go, and what is the cost of your end product. This is also decided by the project report. The project report will tell you what is the cost of the end product. So the difference between the end product, the money you are going to invest, and what is the money you are getting after that, the difference will you get the profit. You need a profit in the business. That's a must. You cannot leave just like that. You need without a profit, business will not run. All these things will be teach you in the project report. The detailed study of the project report will coming soon. And next factor is the factory orientation, or if it is a service sector, the office orientation. What is the importance of the factory orientation and the office orientation? It will save you the time and money. For example, if it's a service orientation, imagine there is only one centralized printer machine or a photocopy machine in the office. So where you will place this machine? You can place in any part of the office. No. You can place this machine near to the whom you will take the more prints. The X officer or X man will take the more print. The machine should be near to that. And again, other people need an equal accessibility to the machine. Otherwise, what will happen? If the man has to travel a lot to take the print, times is a question. At the same time, if you sit in the position seat, you can save a lot of money on that. And if it is in the production side, suppose it is a wood factory, imagine it is in a wood factory, what will happen? In a wood factory, you start cutting the wood, then the next section is the shaping, or you can say planing. If the planing section is far away, again this has to be moved or transport from this point to another point. It is a transportation cost will come. So that means in the factory orientation, the machineries and the factory should be in such a way, it needs a smooth movement. No blocks. One single way, there is no block required. Very smooth and convenient way. This is the important in the factory orientation. Otherwise, what will happen? A lot of time will move X, Y areas. Each minute in the factory will cost you money. If you put an employee into the factory, you are paying for his seconds, not hours. Seconds, each second. If an employee, you are charging X amount his salary, or X amount per day, or X amount per hour. Each second you are paying. You cannot lose. So the factory orientation is a very important factor. Okay, what's the next? Next is the machinery selection. What is machinery selection? Machinery selection is again depend upon your money in your pocket, the capital investment, and your raw material utilization, and your product storage capacity and product selling capacity. Suppose a machine will be produce 1,000 units, you cannot be able to sell at least 100 units per day, then that particular machine is not suited for you. And again, the maintenance part of the machine, if you heavy maintenance machine, it's no use for you. And if a machine is required a lot of technical other parts, technical technology, so many complications, you cannot be able to work. So the machinery selection is a very important fact. In order to that, the machine should be suited to the particular factory. It should be an ideal part or ideally suited to the factory. Otherwise, what happens? This entire system will be blast. You just invest, you will not get any money. So the machinery selection is a very important, and size of the machine should be suited to their factory. This is a very important fact. And what's the next? Staff identification. Actually, normally people will think that staff selection, before you select the staff, you need to identify that. But how? The particular staff, what type of staff I required in my factory. Again, this particular staff is suited to my factory or not. Suppose you are taking an accountant. You are a minimum category, you are saying as a chartered accountant of 10-year experience. You get thousands of CVs. But out of that, you maybe read only one. If you read a one, this particular one should be hardly required to you, to the factory. He should be loyal to the factory. He should think that this factory is part of me. That means he should be taken care of your factory, not for the money. So, the staff selection is very important, and staff identification is very important. All staff will not suit for your factory. You take it any case, it will not identify for your factory. That is a very important thing. And again, staff training. Why you want to train a staff? You know, to train a staff means that staff should be understand our factory. The staff should be understand our factory, then only you can or he can adjust your factory. Once this staff is adjusted, once the staff should be understand, this is my factory I am working, this is the situation of the factory, this is a staff in the factory, this is a machineries in the factory, this is a system in the factory. I need to understand. If you want to understand these things, you need to have a training to the staff. Otherwise, what will happen? The staff will not cope up with your factory. Next is a motivation. We need to motivate your factory. Staff. How? If this is a thing, it will be part of your life, it is your life, then it will come up, you can also come up. This motivation is a very important thing in the stuff. And again, the next part is connecting the similar mind to the business. What it means. Suppose your business, you want to be joined with somebody. Maybe you are taking a subcontract with somebody. There's so many other things in Miracle. But in all these cases, you need to have a similar mind to the people. Suppose you want to add a partner to the business. You should have a similar mind. Suppose you want to sell your some of the product to the X party, then he will be making some other thing. He may be the raw material to that party. And what will happen? That party and you would have a similar mind. Otherwise, the business will not run. Same way, if you are selecting a what you call a retailer or a wholesaler, you also have the similar minds. So, the business you want to run, you need to have a similar mind or similar mental people, similar thinking people or similar line people has to be in your custody. Otherwise, business will not expand. So, in our next modules onwards, we are discussing one by one of each part of this business, this part which I discussed with you now. And we will discuss in detail and how it will work out, what is the advantages and disadvantages of each cases in a short module of time. So I welcome to all to the course Start Run Business. Thank you.